Good morning to you and welcome to Spotlight. And on Spotlight, we usually focus on current affairs related topics, and today we will be talking about the current situation of the country. And to do the honors, we have with us the former president of the Bar Association and President's Council, U.R. De Silva. Very good morning to you and welcome to the program.
Very good morning, and I'm happy that again I was able to come and discuss with you about the situation of this country.
It is of utmost importance that we speak about this situation because everyone ought to know why this is happening and if there's any solution to this as well. So according to the Constitution, should the President step down given the current situation?
Yeah, now the current situation is people have come to roads and they are asking the President to go, as well as they say we don't want 225, all parliamentary we don't want, and they have not done their services. That is why they are at the moment they are stating that way. And what we should inform is by coming to roads and giving them an impact is good. We appreciate their move and we respect them, and that is the very reason the President has asked and the Cabinet has stated that they are going to resign. So they have done it. So one step has been completed. So in the next step, the people cannot do anything. We must act according to the Constitution. Our Constitution is 1979, though we have 20 amendments, still we are on that same Constitution. According to the Constitution, the President's election is separate from the Parliament election. So we have to understand that President has been appointed separately. So now people say the President should go home. So according to the Constitution, the President cannot just give presidency and go away, because there is a way of doing that. If the President is going to resign, he has to give a letter addressed to the Speaker and resign. Merely because he resigns, that does not mean country is able to get somebody else from outside. You can't do that. And then merely because President resigned at this juncture, we can't go for presidential election. So President is being appointed for 5 years. Till 4 years is lapsed, President himself can't go for an election. So we know that it is difficult, or it is prohibited by the Constitution. Then what next? Once the President is resigned at this before 4-year period, then what is followed is that our Prime Minister should act according to the Constitution. Prime Minister should go up and act as the President. If the Prime Minister is not in a position to do so according to Constitution, then the Speaker will look after the President's work till then another person is being appointed from the Parliament. That is very important. So now within 1 month's period, the Parliament should get together and appoint a person by giving a person the necessary consent. So that is the Constitution remedy here. So who is going to be appointed? Whether that person, now we can't appoint a new person from outside, as I mentioned to you. The 225 are eligible to contest for this post. And then if the person is appointed and the people will say we don't want that person, because we say all 225 should go home. So then what next? So that is why we say at this juncture we should not do that type of a thing. Instead of that, we can work together. All parties come to a conclusion and work together. Now the present people who are governing the country, that is ministers, they resigned, and then thereafter next step would be appointing new people. then President has asked the Parliament, now I am giving you the opportunity to show that if some party or together opposition party has 113 majority, simple majority, then I will give you the opportunity to run the country. You appoint necessary people to the cabinet and then run the country. For that purpose, President has given them the opportunity for 3 days. Unfortunately, the opposition was not able to give a solution for that. Instead of that, they wasted 3 days parliament proceedings. So they have not come across a solution. Some parliamentarians, they said that you have to have a temporary government. So according to the constitution, it can be done. And then for a temporary period, so for 6 months or 1 year period, that interim government can go ahead to give maximum solution to the needy things that are there.
And who will consist in this interim government, if so?
No, that is why the President has asked the opposition, the government people is not going to be there. If you have 113, then you run the country by appointing Prime Minister as well as the cabinet. So that is how it goes. So they have not come to a certain understanding, or they haven't given their consent. Instead of that, they said, we are not participating for the interim government. So then thereafter, the next step would be the President has to take a decision. At this stage, the important position would be the Parliament should appoint a finance minister. So that is the very reason the President has appointed former Justice Minister Ali Sabri, President Council, for this post. And he has taken over it. And now he is looking after that position, because we have to go for IMF discussions. For that, the necessary people have been appointed. That's a good move, I said. The President has appointed a new governor, and we saw him talking to the nation through media, and he has given an assurance that he will give his fullest cooperation. He will go all out to do the things that are needed at this stage.
Are we right now following a democratic solution to this
That is
situation?
why I say we are following step by step the democratic process, and according to the constitution, you have to follow this. And by Monday, we can see a new cabinet will be appointed. Otherwise, we can't run the country. So, new essential ministry posts have been given to 3 ministers, and thereafter the balance will be. Now that is also temporary. If the opposition people say that we have better people to be appointed to this particular ministerial post apart from the other, then the President is ready to do so. He has categorically stated that I am going to appoint what you say. Please come out with necessary solution. But unfortunately, they have not done it. So we can't wait till they come to some certain compromise. So we can't do that. So apart from that, what I say is the President should able to appoint new people. If he wants to appoint people, what he has appointed to the governor-like people who are they are abroad even. The President can invite them to come to Sri Lanka, and in Sri Lanka also there are good people who can do more work, not politicians. They have all the experience, and because of that they can be invited to take these posts by asking the members who have been appointed, list members are there. They can the President can ask them to resign from those posts, and they will be appointed as members of the Parliament, and then they can take over the ministerial posts. So likewise, the people who have started this should know and we can't expect them to know the constitution. That is the very reason they are still on the roads. So the governor has given an assurance that I will look after the needy things and I will give solution during the next few days. So we have to wait and see.
And also, according to the constitution, sovereignty is vested to the people, or in the people rather. So if across the country people want a change, how should it happen in a proper democratic way?
Very good question, because they should, though they have every opportunity to go out and ask for a change, which they have done so. And according to the constitution, they have that right. Clause 14, it is clearly states that people have other sovereignty and they have the mandate to go out and express their views to the people, to the authorities. So they have done it, which we say is quite correct, but they must know, apart from those people, there may be some other elements where they want to create a problem. They just want to go behind and do criminal acts with them. So that is not good. So they can't go here and there, do whatever they want. The people who are not going according to the democratic way, they will create a problem. We have come across this situation during 1971 and 89, 90. Those time we have come across that. That is not democratic. So if you want to follow democratic process, the best thing would be leave the presidential elections separate, and thereafter, if they want, they can have parliament election, but this is not the correct time. So if they want, they can do so, and I personally believe that we should have that type of election later, not at this stage.
And how long would this take, in your opinion? Like the current situation, we see that many people are on the streets right now. So how long do you think we will have to wait for a solution?
That is up to the media and to the opposition also to explain them. Look here, you have done your duty and we appreciate that. But you can't continue like this way. This is a democratic country. We can't just ask everything to be done in an undemocratic way. So we have to listen to them, and then we should educate them. Now, media can educate them, but the opposition parties should not say that you continue with that. I think it is not proper. So we have to educate them and say that after this particular protest, you wait and see what is the position of the present people who are there in the parliament. So parliamentarians, of course, they should take the responsibility, not from the government side, but even the opposition side. They have all the responsibility. Because I saw that former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, he has clearly stated we should get together and do some service, and we are ready to do that. But merely because he has stated the balance Sajaba or any JVP is not willing, it is very difficult to get a solution from the opposition parties. So we can't wait till they do that also. So they have been given opportunity. I think they have wasted their time, but at this stage, from Monday onwards, we must march forward. And for the main issue, that is with regard to IMF, we have to go there, or we have to discuss with them, and lot of things to be done. Now the government has already taken steps to proceed with. That is the main issue at the moment, current issue. And with that solution, without that solution, we can't proceed further. And in future, by July, we will be in a very, very bad situation if we are not going to take immediate action.
That's economically.
That's right. So economically is, at the moment, they are doing some work to come to some certain understanding. and give the best for the people. At this stage, what we expect from the political solution, that is political stability, is very important. So if they are not going to come to a certain understanding, then it will be a problem. And then the donor countries or IMF, World Bank, they will ask what is the situation of this country, whether you all have come to some understanding or not. So that is very important. They should understand it is their duty to show to the world we have protested and we are not in agreement with the government, but for 6 months period we will work together, and from that point onwards we need an election and we need to change the constitution. We need to abolish the 20th Amendment and give more power to the Prime Minister of this country, which we also see that should be the case. But unfortunately, we couldn't do it earlier. That does not mean we can't do in future. We have to take immediate action. We should give an assurance, the firm assurance, within 1 year period, that after 6 months balance period, we should get together and change this constitution and give more powers to the Prime Minister. Then the President can't dictate terms to the Parliament.
So how are we going to face the consequences? Can the Parliament request the President to dissolve, or is it prudent at this juncture?
That is right. There are two questions you have asked. At any stage, the parliamentarians are in a position to the 2/3 people should get together, and thereafter they should inform the President that we are in agreement to dissolve the Parliament. So it can be done. But now the Prime Minister, the President, if he is not satisfied with the Parliament, he can't do that also, because he has to wait 2.5 years. So another few months he has to wait if he wants to dissolve the Parliament. But at this stage, if they want, the parliamentarians, they can do that by giving a letter to the President asking him to dissolve the Parliament. 2/3 should be signed in that. But as you said, the second question, it is prudent to have the election at this juncture because we don't have money. We are asking from other countries to help us. Without electricity, without oil, without medicine, are we going to have election? If it is so, then what will happen? Will the people can go there and then use their independent view? I don't think it can be done. So we have to wait. Now they have started it, but that does not mean that they have to abandon that and go away. No, you have to wait and see what is the next step. So the government has already started by giving an assurance that they will go to IMF, and the next step would be they should work together for 6 months and give the main facilities to the people who are there on the streets, and then the next step would be abolish the 20th Amendment and give more power and proceed further, and then we can have elections later.
And Mr. De Silva, I think the main concern of the people right now is how long is the wait? Now you mentioned 6 months. Is that 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months in the sense to work hard, and even outsiders can come in, as I told you, and then people who are willing to work with the government, they can do so. And this is not their individual pleasure. This is for the sake of our people, sake of the country, to come out with serious situation. So for that purpose, if they are working hard, then they can have this 6 months period. Even the governor has clearly stated within 3 months we can't do that, but 6 months, of course, I can give some assurance. So we at that point he has clearly stated, for that purpose also we must get together and work hard.
And Mr. De Silva, you mentioned that we need to get in we can get in outsiders as well involved in the sense?
That in the sense that now there may be people who are not willing to come for politics, who are not willing to contest the parliamentary election, but they are ready to help the government. Their expertise is very important to at this juncture. So if they are ready to give their cooperation, then they should be invited to take as parliament members by asking, as I told you, the present list members should be resigned, and then thereafter the opportunity will be given to them. It is the classic example would be the Basil Rajapaksa came in. For that purpose, one member resigned from that post, and he was given the opportunity, and then at the same time he was appointed as the Minister of Finance. So likewise, for the other important areas also, outsiders can come in if the government is of the view, instead of present parliamentarians, because people will say we don't want them. Because of that, we will appoint good people who people can work hard and without asking more benefits from the government. If they are ready to work, they will be given the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. U.R. De Silva, for being a part of the program, and thank you for enlightening us as well. And with that, it's time for us to conclude this week's edition of Spotlight. We had with us former President of Bar Association and President's Council, U.R. De Silva.